Hi everyone, welcome. So this week's weekly Psycard Insights, we're going to be looking at the Psycards. As promised, as we go forwards, this is something I'm going to do on a Thursday evening between kind of 6 and 9 p.m. and build up some consistency as we go forwards. And we'll also weave in some spirit messages in there as well, and kind of just take some wisdom from the week and just share it. Kind of opportunity for you guys to kind of interact with me, me to interact with you, kind of share some Psycards, share some wisdom, share some spirit messages as well as we go forward. So Psycards. So who's watching? Who's there? Say hi if you're there. Hi Alison, welcome. It's lovely to have you guys here. So let's have a look, see what cards we've got. What card we're going to pull this week. Hi Kim, welcome, wonderful to have you here. So as you come into the live feed, do come and say hi, let me know you're there as well. And we'll see if we've got some messages for people as well. Here's the card. Okay, very powerful card. This card is absolutely, completely making sense for me. So the card we've got is the friendship card. Now, I kind of feel this is very relevant. So we're kind of around the 7th of December. I think this is really relevant to a message that I was sharing this morning with a client I was consulting with, and what was kind of coming through was this whole sense of this time of year we feel really overwhelmed. Kim, I'll come back to you. We feel really overwhelmed with the demands that are placed on us. You know, we've kind of got to go here, we've got to do this, we've got to go there, we've got to kind of be with these people, we've got to kind of go for dinner here, we've got to kind of buy this, we've got to buy that. And there's this whole feeling that we're pulled from pillar to post, okay? So we're literally pulled from pillar to post. And the kind of message that come through this morning was that the one person that is not benefiting from all of that is absolutely yourself. You know, how many people right now are sitting there thinking, I'm dreading this time, I'm dreading Christmas because I've got to go here. Okay, Spirit's kind of answer to that is absolutely stop. Be really mindful of where your time and your attention is going. Where is your time and your attention going? You know, because time is one of the greatest things that we have. It's one of the most precious assets that we ever have, because once spent, we never ever get it back again. And there's this whole thing of this lady I was talking to this morning. She was like, I'm really dreading it. And you're absolutely right. I don't want to go there, but I feel I've got to go there. You know, the thing is that if we're dreading it, it's telling us what we've got to do is try and find the courage, the conviction, the strength to absolutely honour what we want to do, where we want to go, who we want to be around. Because literally, that time that we share with people, we never ever have back again. Time is one of the greatest things that you can ever give another. You know, so this card, the way that I see this and the message that Spirit are kind of really sharing is that, imagine this, that you're sitting there at a table, okay? Who are you going to place at the table with you? And those people that you place at that table, really and truthfully, are people that you could pass your door keys to. They're people that you could leave your children with. They're people that you could leave the keys to your safe with. And if you can't do those things, then really, truly, have you got the right friends around you? You know, if you cannot trust those people at that level, then really truthfully you've got to ask yourself, what is it that you're doing with that? Are really and truthfully these people friends within your world? And I think it's a really, really important point. So, you know, this whole conversation I was having with Spirit this morning with this client, with this lady, was born out of the fact that she sadly last Christmas was looking at her dad, who was sitting there at the chair, and he was just a little bit quieter. There was something that was very different about him. He was a little bit more reserved. He was a little bit more quieter. And what turned out was that March of the year after Christmas, so preceding March, is that they discovered that he had a very aggressive cancer. 3 months later, he was dead. And she said she sat there at that Christmas table looking over her dad, who was a lot more quieter than normal, a little bit more reserved. There was something different about him, and she thought to herself, I'm really thankful that we're all together this Christmas, because you know what, sometimes this is a final Christmas. It is absolutely a final Christmas for so many people that find themselves terminally ill, so many people that don't even know that they're going to get to the following Christmas. You know, one of the things that we have that is so precious is the time. And I think that where we spend our time, who we spend our time with, how we spend it, where we place our attention is absolutely vital. You know, because she looked at her dad, and I think there was something, you know, and I shared this with her, something instinctively that was telling her that potentially was going to be the last Christmas that she had with her dad. She just kind of looked over him and thought, there's something very different about him. There's something very quiet about him. There's something very reserved about him. Not to know fully that was the last Christmas she was ever going to spend with him. So I think it's really important. Those of you who are kind of sitting there thinking, oh my God, you know, I've got to do all of these things. I've got to go to all these places. I've got to meet all these demands. I've got to be everywhere. Is stop, pause, and kind of really reevaluate where you find yourself and who you find yourself around. As spirits say, look at your life as a table. Those people that are sitting at your table, you know, do they lift you? Do they inspire you? Do they bring out the best in you? As a good friend Matt says, do they leave you in a better place than when they found you? And if not, then you need to really reevaluate. Have the courage and the conviction to really reevaluate who's around you. You know, it's that whole thing of when that phone rings and you see who it is, does that lift you? Does that inspire you? Does that kind of elevate your energy, or does that drain your energy? I think this message, this card of the coming weeks, is about really being mindful of who you share your time with, where you share your time, where that time and attention goes, and have the courage to absolutely be the guardian of your time. Really, really important. That lady this morning, you know, looking at her dad, she never knew that was going to be her last Christmas with him. You know, how many people right now are facing their last Christmas? Okay, you know, time is so precious. Over the coming days, I'm going to be releasing a video about that. I'm also going to be releasing a blog called The Final Christmas. One Final Christmas. As I say, be really mindful of where your time and attention goes. Guys, there was a question that I saw pop up a little bit earlier. Let's see if I can find that question. So someone, life is shorter than you think. Absolutely. Kim, you kind of fired a question at me. Or was it Alison? Who was it that fired the question at me? Type away. And I'm only going to be on for about a quarter of an hour, guys. But what I was wanting to do is kind of give you kind of the space, me and you, the space to kind of interact with each other consistently and weekly as we go forward, sharing kind of some Psycard insight. So if you want to type away, that would be fantastic. Let me see if I can find the question. Kim, what did you say? What was your question? Hello. Hey, Nora. Hi, Kim. Hi, Alison. Hi, Helen. Hi, Matt. Hi, Dean. Hi, guys. Lovely to have you all here. Let's see if we can find that question. What was your question, Kim? Hi, Joanna. So let's take a couple of questions. Kim, if you're going to type away, type that question, that would be fantastic. So what are our thoughts? What are our thoughts on this card? What is it, our thoughts about what I've just shared? Dad passed on Tuesday night. Would he have gone straight to mum? Okay, I think that's a really profound question, and it's one that we should really explore. Now, okay, so within my own experience of this, the Spirit often say that there is no time frame. You know, you hear so many mediums say that you need to give it a year before contact can be made. Within my own experience, that can be actually days, sometimes hours, and Spirit do make contact. Kim, what I've got a sense of, he was a warm man. Okay, he was a warm man. Hi, Carla. He was very much a warm man, but I also get the feeling that there could have been an awkwardness to him. There could have been a kind of awkwardness. He was a strong character, a strong personality. And my feeling, absolutely, he would be with mum. I can kind of feel an impression of a presence behind me. Kim, you've also sent vast amount of healing energy. You've sent vast amount of love towards him, and you've absolutely asked that he show himself, and you're kind of watching out for that, you're looking out for that. But the feeling I've got is, I don't know if it was a heaviness on the chest, or that was a tightness on the chest, or breathing difficulty, but I kind of got this kind of spreading feeling as well. But I kind of get this sense that he tells me, or a feeling behind me is that he could have been awkward at times. It's almost like patience would have been tested towards the end. But a very strong personality and a very strong character. Kim, does that make sense to you? And I get mum equally being very strong. It's almost as if he would have felt he was kind of in charge or in control, but her being her, she actually was kind of strong, but there's a quietness to her. Does that make sense to you? And my whole feeling is, yes, it does. Perfect. That's what all of this is about, Kim. It's trying to kind of meet those questions and kind of, you know, share those insights. But that also would tell us that, you know, when you hear people say you need to give it a year, that is not always the case. I think that it's completely down to the individual situation and the individual circumstances. Absolutely, it can be hours. In this case, it can be within days, because it's Thursday and your dad passed on Tuesday. He really wants you to know that he is with those that love him and are looking after him. But believe me, I think that he was ready to go. Does that make sense to you, Kim? He just feels as if he was absolutely ready to go. I just kind of got a very deep, tired feeling. He was really ready to go. I know that his love lives with you. And again, that's kind of reinforcing the importance of the time that we have. You know, time that we share is very kind of precious. I know, you know, I was sharing at the top of this video an experience I had this morning of a lady saying to me about her own dad, that she sat and looked over at him on Christmas Day last year across the table while they were eating dinner, and thought, he just seems a lot more quieter. There's something about him that seems kind of quite introspective, a lot more withdrawn, only to find out the coming March that he had aggressive cancer. Within 3 months he had passed. I know going back 2 years ago, I got a phone call just after Boxing Day to say that my uncle had died very suddenly, very unpredictable. It was completely a random situation, never seen, didn't see coming. There was no reason for it to be seen or come or happen, and he kind of passed with a sudden heart attack. You know, life is really, really precious, guys, you know, and I kind of feel that this time of year is always a milestone, and we look back over the year before. And I know myself and a good friend, we take kind of pilgrimage up into the hills, normally between Christmas and New Year, and it's a time to kind of really reflect on what's happened, and what we can take from the year. And one of the things that I always greatly take is how precious our lives are and how precious time is. Kim goes on to say, spend time with your loved ones, as you never know when it's going to be your loved one's time. Absolutely agree with that, totally. Today that has really been reinforced for me from the work that I've done today. So let's take another question, but here's the card. And just to recap, who are you around? Who's within your life? Are they adding value, or are they draining you? You know, when you're kind of sitting around, I think this is a very important point. When you're sitting around that table on Christmas Day, are you sitting there with people that you want to be with? Okay, are you sitting there with people you want to be with? Okay, if not, why not? And I think it's really, really important we find the courage and we find the conviction to always place ourselves where we want to be. I think that's really, really, really vitally important. You know, those of you that are feeling obligated to be somewhere over the next coming months, over the next coming weeks, is to really kind of stop, pause, reflect, reevaluate that. If you're kind of meeting something out of obligation, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it, but it's finding the courage to stand up to that. Okay. Jetinin says, I had to change this recently and life stepped up to support me. And it does, you're absolutely right. You know, you start to move towards it, it will support you. Thank you, Shane. You have confirmed what I truly believed in my heart and my mind. Fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, let's take one more question. I believe it was it Amanda that you were typing away to me? Unfortunately, the way the kind of the feed scrolls, I'm unable to scroll back and find it. Oh, here we go. It is starting to work now. I know that this is my last Xmas with my family. What can I do to make it the best? I think it's really, really important that to make it the best, less is more. Yeah, in my experience, just the message that I'm going to share with you, the message that I'm going to share from Spirit is absolutely less is more. You know, I've kind of been writing over the last couple of days, and one of the things that I've shared very passionately and very strongly is that if you're going to give a gift, give the gift of experience, the gift of presence, i.e. being present with those that you love is most important, and to absolutely sometimes just simplify all the kind of craziness that comes with this time of year. You know, people rushing around the shops and cooking and this and that. The other evening, I was really kind of honoured to be a part of an experience with Golden Glow Healing, who invited people to come and have a full moon supper. And one of the things that really struck a chord with me that I really took from that was that everybody was invited to bring a plate of food. And by the end of it, we had this abundance on the table of food that had been really kind of brought or cooked from deep within, from the heart. And that table was just kind of overfilled abundantly with beautiful food, which meant that it wasn't just one person, it was many people coming together. So the way to kind of see this time of year is that you do not have to be kind of killing yourself to make it perfect, to make it perfection. You know, one of the things the Innate feels really passionate about this year is bringing back the real meaning to this time of year, which actually is kind of connection. And if you're going to share gifts and exchange gifts, how about they be gifts of experience? You know, things that can help someone grow, things that can move someone forwards, things that nurture an experience, and that experience then lives internally, and then it becomes a gift that continues to give. These are just the Innates and my thoughts, but yeah, I would say, you know, is what can you do to make it the best is to absolutely create experiences around it, to be together. You know, so often we get to that time and we're just so exhausted by wading through the shops, overfilling our shopping trolleys with food that 3/4 of it gets wasted, and we're just so tired and exhausted. By the time we sit down with each other, there's nothing to give. Okay, just a few thoughts. Guys, I'm going to leave that with you. As I say, over the coming days, I'm going to be sharing a very important blog, which is One Final Christmas, and a couple of videos as well around that. And also, those of you that have asked, my audiobook now is live. It is being released. It can be purchased via my online shop, which is www.shanegad.com. If you then go to the shop, you'll find the audiobook, The Long Road Home, Volume 1, where it all started. I'm going to leave that all with you, and I'm going to leave that card with you. Have a think. Who's sitting at your table this Christmas? Are they the people you want to be sitting with? If not, why not? I'm going to leave that with you, and I'm going to leave the love of spirit. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. See you all soon. Thank you all for tuning in.